Hello everybody, I'm Mark Burry, the teenager entrepreneur, author of How to Be Successful on Twitter, and today I'm going to review a book that was written by one of my favorite authors, who is Seth Godin, and the book I'm reviewing today is The Purple Cow. Now, some people may think The Purple Cow, since it was published back in 2003, some of the information may be outdated and that you won't get the same out of it that you got out of it in 2003. Well, I read the book this year. So, I'm doing this book review. I got a lot out of The Purple Cow, and even though it's got information in 2003, like Google wasn't the #1 company yet, Facebook and Twitter didn't even exist, but all the methods in this book can be applied to any business during any time period, basically. So it's basically turning a business into something remarkable that people are going to talk about. There are tons of examples in the book, and throughout the entire book, Seth Godin is talking about the most important point, or like the most important thing you need to get out of a particular chapter. Now, if you don't want to get the book yet, or you're feeling shy towards actually buying books about your niche or books about business that will help it grow, I highly recommend to subscribe to Seth Godin's blog at sethgodin.typepad.com, because I was also not the type who would have gotten books at all like a year ago. Now I just keep on getting books, and one of the reasons that I have Purple Cow now is because I was subscribed to Seth Godin's blog for over a year, and a year later I finally decided I'm gonna buy one of his books. So now I have the Purple Cow in my collection. I've read the entire book, and I plan to get his other books in the near future as well. So if you're looking for a great read, it doesn't matter if you're buying this book 10 years after it was published, 20 years after it was published, or 100 years after it was published. Purple Cow is a great read. You may be wondering what I got out of this book, because if you want to buy this book, it's always good to see someone else's opinion on the book. So, some of the things I got out of the book were that you gotta set your own path away from the competition, and the further away you are from the competition, the better. Also, there are tons of examples at the end of the new Purple Cow book. So my Purple Cow book has the extra part. So that my Purple Cow book shows like 40 extra pages of testimonials with more examples of the Purple Cow in their communities. So one thing I heard about was there was restrooms with purple toilets, so they must have taken the Purple Cow seriously. Now, although you may not think about that as like something incredible, I just talked about it, and many people have as well, so that's what makes it remarkable. Another thing I heard about was a restaurant where they gave you the food, they didn't leave a price on the menu, and you slipped money in an envelope that you thought would be worth the price of your food. So you control the price in that restaurant, and if you didn't want to pay, you could always serve at the restaurant. So that's another example of a Purple Cow. And the Purple Cow is basically, a main message is that you're either remarkable or you're invisible. And as Seth Godin says later in the book, you have a choice between being distinct and extinct. And I thought that was a big wake-up call, because remarkable or invisible, it's like remarkable, everyone's talking about you, but invisible, it's like you're still there, but people aren't talking about you. But when I hear the distinct and extinct, that's like a real wake-up call. So Seth Godin basically highlights that the ways that used to work aren't working anymore, like TV advertising no longer works the way it used to, and people haven't fully adapted to the change. And he also shows what made purple cows into what they are. If you're looking for a method that will show you how to turn your business into a purple cow, like a foolproof method, never fails, you'll always get a purple cow, which is basically a remarkable business, this book isn't for you. This book is just testimonials, different companies, businesses, and entrepreneurs who got the purple cow, why they got the purple cow, and when you see why they got the purple cow, those could be eventually ways that you end up getting the purple cow. But if you're looking for a purple cow, like you do A, B, and C, and you apply all these methods, this book isn't for you. But this book contains a lot of wisdom. If you want to get an edge on the competition, this is the perfect book for you. I've been subscribed to Seth Godin's blog for over a year. Love this content on his blog. I will never click that unsubscribe button, and I will continue buying his books. And that's all for today. Until then, I want you to dream big, achieve greatness, and unlock your potential today.